Make it 3 wide up the back straightaway. Up in front of them, you've got Carl Edwards. A jet burn, there's trouble. Kurt Busch gets hooked right in the middle of the backstretch. Heavy down to the right front of his car. Elliott Sadler is also in a slide and crouched the wall to the inside of the backstretch. We've had a 2-car incident here on the Long Pond straightaway at Pocono.
Caution comes out for the 5th time this afternoon. Lap 165, back to Dan Hubbard.
Joe, it almost looked like 2 separate incidents. Kurt Busch was running in the mid-pack. Clearly someone got in the rear of him and he just turned straight into the right side wall, the outside retaining wall, hit it hard with heavy front-end damage to that machine. And then just a couple of seconds later, Elliott Sadler was in a slide. He went in the opposite direction to the grass area to the driver's left, really hit the guardrail very, very hard, again to the driver's left. Both window nets are down, and that's the good news in a bad situation for both Elliott Sadler and Kurt Busch.
That is a vicious wreck on the back straightaway. The engine from Elliott Sadler's car has been torn loose from the chassis, lying in the grass down on the inside of the racetrack. The safety crews are on the scene, attending to both Kurt Busch and Elliott Sadler. Kurt is out of his car, walking fairly gingerly, but under his own power. Elliott Sadler clearly shaken up as he tries to exit his car. That is the hardest lick we've seen in many, many years, tearing the engine from the front of Elliott Sadler's Ford.
Yeah, he was moving around inside the car as he was signaling to the rescue personnel as they came over. Red flag is out right now as they're attending to Elliott Sadler. They now have him out of the car over in turn number 2. Let's go back to Dan Hubbard.
Well, as you might imagine, Joe, there's going to be quite a cleanup after this one. As we said, Kurt Busch has gotten out and walked to the ambulance under his own power. Elliott Sadler climbed out of his car, put his face in his hands, then slowly went down to the pavement. He is now lying on his back. He is okay, but it's clear that he's been severely shaken up. Lots of safety crew members are now attending to Elliott Sadler. Again, conscious, okay, talking to the crew, talking to the safety teams here, but he was severely shaken up as he slowly got out of his car and went down to the pavement and is now laying on his back.
So that's a scene over near the tunnel turn where this incident has occurred. Again, Kurt Busch and Elliott Sadler involved over there, bringing out the caution flag just 35 laps from the finish, and that has led to a red flag because the track is completely blocked over there.
Joe, it appeared that the accident began when Kurt Busch got bumped from behind by Jimmy Johnson. That turned him slightly up the racetrack where he got hooked by Clint Boyer. Boyer really with nowhere to go as Kurt Busch came across the racetrack. We've not seen the replay that gives us any indication what happened further back in the pack to Elliott Sadler, but a hard lick for the Kurt Busch machine virtually severed the right front suspension. It ended up underneath the race car as Kurt went hurtling down into the grass. Behind him, it was basically just evasive action, and we still await the replay that's going to show us what happened to the Elliott Sadler machine. But again, one of the most vicious licks we've seen in a long time, tearing virtually the entire front clip off that United States Air Force Ford and sent the engine tumbling end over end. The engine block, the carburetor, intake manifold, the engine in its entirety rolling about 100 feet away from the race car and ending up down in the infield.
So again, it's brought us to the red flag. Here is just 35 laps to go at Pocono. Don't you just love summer? It's a